Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by Sam. Sam, I'm going to let you describe what you do for the listeners because it's fascinating. When you first contacted me, I was like, oh, this is curious. You piqued my curiosity. And then when we had our conversation before you came onto the show, it just a fascinating story. So tell us just a little bit about you and what you do.
Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you to our listeners. What I do is I help build relationships with your dog so you can have a fun, free time. And that's what I want to spread in this world.
I love that. And tell us a little bit about that because I know when I read that, I was like, well, hang on a sec, how's that going to work with humans and our connection? But it does. So tell us a little bit about, let's start with your story, how you ended up getting into this and what happened, and a bit about your background because you've got a fascinating background, Sam.
Well, I realized that if we want to be happy, what makes us happy is our relationships to others, right? So, having understood that, having worked with dogs personally, uh, in different situations, different times of the day, and different environments, and they are off leash, so they don't have any way that I can control them. I understood that it's not about training, it's about building relationships. And today, the main thing we do is through our courses, we try to kind of give this tool to the owners.
Hmm. So
No.
go on.
Yes.
You carry
Go
on.
on, please.
No, you carry on, Sam.
How did that get around? How did I come to that? Is the entire 15 years of my life working with the dogs, which kind of I understood things, and this is where it all happened.
Excellent.
So,
And yeah, tell us a bit more about how you first discovered all of this.
well, I migrated to Canada, and when I came to Quebec, my ignorance level of that time was I didn't know Quebec has French as the main language. So, definitely not speaking the language, sometimes you come across as a very ignorant, a person who doesn't know anything, you know. You know things, but you cannot express them. So that gives you a disadvantage. In my case, that was a big advantage because I understood something that if I cannot communicate clearly the things I know, I'm sure the dogs are going through the same level of frustration. So, like your podcast is about communication.
Mhm.
And to my surprise, when I started observing myself, my relationship with people, I understood that I'm not good at communicating. I'm good at throwing out things. And I'm thinking that I can throw out things for hours, but the person will never understand what I actually want to convey. And that led me to a lot of observation, especially when I started working with dogs. I started observing them. I I went through a lot of courses. I went through zoo conferences, but the main thing I did was observing each and individual and understanding their patterns. I could understand, oh, this is what they are doing. So this is the same with human beings. We kind of are lost because we think we communicate and we don't. We just speak. We don't listen. We don't actually understand. And behind our speech is always the layer what we want to convey. And often we don't do that. So today, one of my goals is just bridging this communication gap between the owners and the dogs. This is what's going on. There's no elaborate training procedures. Training is my ego wants to train you because I think I can make you do something which will improve my life, not your dog's life. Training is about you. So my role is just to bridge that gap, and I'm happy I can do that. And And I say this because of the results. I walk 35 dogs off leash in a forest. It's not easy, it's fun. It's not easy because at all given points of time, the environment is always having better things than me.
Mm.
A squirrel, a raccoon, a skunk looks 10,000 times more better in my dog's eyes than I am looking.
Far
So I
more
have to
exciting.
fight that. Yeah. So how do I deal with that? Do I rely on training? Do I rely on relationships? That is the question.
Mm. And what is the answer?
The answer is always relationship.
Always.
The answer is always why do we do things? Why does a person get up in the morning and do what they do? Because they have done it yesterday. It's a pattern. It's always a pattern. We are operating under pattern. The day we realize that, my background is from a I wouldn't want somebody to go through the past which I had.
Mm.
Not being disowned, being abused in all ways, physically, mentally, sexually.
Mm.
Now, what pattern did I have? Hatred, frustration, anger, resentment. Now, can we justify it? Yes. Is it serving me? No. When do I drop that? The awareness of what is forgiveness. Forgiveness is something which allows me to unblock my heart to the presence of love. That means when I'm forgiving, I'm not forgiving you for what you did. I'm just saying that this block which I hold of resentment, I hold of frustration, is not allowing the bigger circle of love's presence in my life. So I had to see that pattern and then I had to build a new pattern. For example, I get up in the morning, I'm eating chips, I'm going to McDonald's. I don't know if England has McDonald's. Here
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
fast food, or they have.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a fast food change, and I go there every day. Sometimes I'm not even conscious. Most of the things we do are unconscious, they are habit. How do I brush my teeth? I learned it and then I just brush my teeth. How do I wear my clothes? Of course, choosing the clothes is conscious, wearing is unconscious habit. So we just bringing that awareness is one of the things to just change a cycle. And I want to be a happy person. I want to enjoy my life. This is my life. I cannot change what has happened, but definitely my future, I can mold it, I can shape it, I can guide it as I want. And this is the awareness I had, and my life is beautiful. Today, I have tears of joy. So many times I'm like, wow, wow, this is happening, and this is great. Yeah.
That sounds like your life is consciously full of gratitude, Sam, on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, gratitude is one of the things, but changing a pattern is, let me put it, when I I was born in India in a certain traditional place. Now let's say I was born in China. I would I would follow the religion there. I would speak that language. I would love that food. If I was born in England, I would speak English much better,
Mm.
and
Right.
and I would eat their food, do the ways, fall in love with football. Now, yeah, now tell me, I was a spiritual being, just came into this world. Everything I'm doing today is a sum of habits I've picked up from my culture. So, who am I? This is the uncovering of myself. And doesn't mean anything is right or wrong. It just means I'm following a certain way. Now, if I sit quietly, even for 2 minutes, what's going to happen? There's my head is going to give out thoughts. It just keeps talking. My head keeps talking all the time. The question is, am I hearing from my own being, or is it the sum total of everything around me? And that is determining my experience. This happened, this is wrong, this is right. Today we have so many things going on. The world is changing, the new generation wants different things, and there's nothing right, nothing wrong. Who do I want to be? So, this is an important thing to monitor. What is going on in my head? Is it me, or is it a sum total of outside influence coming to me? And one of the things which will determine my experience in life is this awareness: who is talking, or who is listening, or can we just observe that voice?
Hmm. Yeah. So when do you think you started to become more consciously aware? Because I agree with you, Sam. I think, especially in communication, consciousness is plays a huge part of it. The more we're consciously present with another person, the more we can connect with them, is my belief. So when did you, so you talked about your background, the struggles that you had there. So when did you start to become more consciously aware that you have more choice?
I think as a human being, we all have the want or the desire to want more, to expand and express ourselves fully. And when we are not doing that, we'll often have frustrations in life. And the results of life will not be according to what we want from life. So when I had that realization that something's not working, and it's not just one day, it's the whole series of bad relationships, wanting to be with my girlfriend, but I couldn't be. I couldn't be. Because myself, nobody wants to love you when you don't love yourself. That's a fact.
Mm.
when, when you're a miserable person, nobody wants to love you. But you want love. You want that connection. Looking at the things, and finally, this realization that this is solely my, the everything which I'm experiencing is my responsibility. So I said, okay, let me start getting into this. Let me start learning more about me. For sure, it's not easy. I had to go to meditation centers, Vipassana, where you sit alone for 10 days and no talking. Now, this was the first time I realized that I just have one thought and it has 100, maybe a million different kind of aspects to it. But it's the same thought. The thought is about how I am the victim and everything's going wrong in my life. And whichever way you put it, I would put it, the mind is so, it's such a beautiful con artist. It convinces you that this is the reality. And I saw that after the third day, I was like, oh my God, just forget it. It's what it is. I don't want to be in this loop of what's going wrong in life. Today, I can think of anything. I can think of inventing a plane. I can think of inventing a new train which runs on, I don't know, whatever. Why am I thinking of these things? And that was, no, I'm just tired of this. So then I started wanting to know more how to stop this loop. It was not easy in the beginning, but today I know, okay, it's a loop, and okay, let's stop it. So this was one of the ways that I said, and the first thing I did is I changed my environment. Everyone has to get out of friendships, get out of whatever work culture, get out of the home if it's not making you smile and bringing that lively energy to you. You have to do that. And it's not because something, someone, somewhere is bad. Nothing is like that. You need that change to go and say, this is me without the filters, and you need to reinvent yourself. So that's what I did. I changed my entire country. uh, when I came to Canada, I didn't have a single document with me. I came as a tourist. I knew I would stay here. Uh, I'm a citizen. Everything went smoothly because I knew this is what I would want now.
Mm. And did you know that immediately when you went to Canada? Did you arrive at Canada and go, yeah, this is the place?
Yeah, it's a funny story, Sai.
Yeah.
I was working on the merchant navy, so when I came to Canada, I really liked it. I liked the culture. Something really connected it with me. In fact, my first visit out, anytime I went out of India, was in Tilbury, England in 1997. I came there and I had a. This was my first connection with the world outside of what I knew. So when I decided that I would just leave everything and go to Canada, unfortunately, I did that. I spoke to my parents, I spoke to my friends, and they were, "What would you do?" And immediately, this is how desires get cramped up. When I have a desire, this is something want from inside. Desire means to sire. It's a baby inside you. You want to nurture it, you want to grow it. But then there is the outside information of, oof, this fear, that fear. And fears are just somebody's experiences, these are not yours. So the first time I came back from the ship and I said, I'm going to just quit and go to Canada. You don't have a place there, you don't have a job there, nobody knows you there. What did I do? I chickened out. I didn't do it. It took me the entire 9 months to kind of, it didn't leave that thought. It didn't leave that thought. So when I came back the next time, I told nobody about it. I bought the tickets. I sat on it. I was very clear. I am going to do this. And 15 days before I declared, maybe 10 days before that, I'm going to just go away. Do you have plans? No. Do you know what you're going to do? No. But I was convinced I'll do this. And the day I quit India, I was crying. I knew I'm leaving my life behind and I'm going to be whoever I want to be now. So I did that. When I came to the customs, I was super happy. I knew everything would work out. And within the first week, I had two jobs. I did work, not kind of, $5 an hour for 12 hours, 13 hours a day. I did all that. And everything went out smoothly. I would do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if you would do it again because you know what the result would be.
Yes, in fact, I remember I was always mopping the floors and the kitchen in the kitchen before leaving, and I was always happy doing that. And one of my colleagues asked me that, "Why are you happy mopping floors?" And I told him that I know I'm not going to do this forever. I know that. I know I'm. It is just a phase which I have to go through. So I think life was just working out for me.
Hmm. I love that description that you just said there, Sam, a phase that I have to go through.
Yeah,
It's like a stepping stone sometimes, isn't it? Like there's a saying, and I can't remember who said it, but don't let things be in the way, let them be on the way.
on the way. Yes,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so great.
Mm.
So you've done a massive jump because there's so much more to your story than I realized from our conversation before. So you've done a massive jump. You've left your home. People have told you not to do it because people love to give their opinion even if it's not asked for, I found, rather than listening from that place of curiosity. We like to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. And then you've made that big decision and you moved forward. And so you're now in your life in Canada. So tell us what happens after the mopping of the floors. What's next?
Oh, after it was just following the heart. And life changed then. Life changed and everything. I'm almost 52 today, and we are expecting a baby girl.
Oh,
And yeah, and I feel younger than ever. I feel invigorated than ever. I feel, wow, I'll have a second chance because I have a son also and 5 years old, and I find that, wow, I'm not going to grow old. I'm going to be young because I'm spending time with the youth. The eagerness of life, like wonder, joy, love. These are natural kind of ways to be. There's nothing more in life than that. We came from being in a water. We survived underwater for 9 months. Now we came out here. This is to discover the entire physical part of life. And then we think about mortgages, then we think about what's coming tomorrow and cooking for tomorrow. And I'm going to eat tomorrow. I'm going to eat day after also. I'm going to pay the mortgages. Why? Because that's the smallest part of my life. Human beings, we are having the gift of unending abilities. The only reason we behave small is we want to be small. We think. No, I think so. Coming back to your question, yeah, I started following my heart. I was in Toronto, and at that time I had a very low self-esteem.
Mm.
I was very shy. I was conscious of my color. I was conscious of how I looked. And I actually met a girl online. Now, this is how online works in the good way also, because people now have Facebook. You can say what you want because you are almost anonymous. I
Mm.
wouldn't say the things I have to say face to face, but people say that on the Facebook. So I was on online dating, the one of the dating websites, and I met a girl from Quebec, and I was thinking I'll never meet her. So this was the solace I had because at that time I was a very shy person. If I could avoid going through life without seeing anyone and nobody seeing me, I would have been happy. So I can't believe I'm that because now I talk to my entire street, etc. I talk with everyone. So, anyways, she actually came to Toronto, and then I followed her to Montreal, and that's where my development and change of my personality started evolving more. It's the first time I felt in my life that I actually am a good person or I look good enough. It was all those things. Today I'm no, the look is the physical part. You want to see the beauty in the person. You want to talk. You want to see how you can enrich somebody's life and somebody's giving you that enrichment in your life. So, and then I couldn't get a job in Quebec because of and I was a chef. I'm very good at cooking. I love cooking, but I couldn't get a job because of the language barrier. Next thing was good. It was always about connections. I got my first dog, and as I said, I didn't know anything, and I saw his frustration. But whenever we would go out, we would walk off leash. I never had that dog on leash. Guinness, my Jazz, is 14 years old today. Never put him out off leash because why would he run away from me? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm always with him. I'm always going with him when they chase a deer or a rabbit. I'm like, okay, that's what a dog does. He'll come back to me and he will come back to me. So people started watching this, and the only time I was really comfortable in life was when I was speaking about animals. And I was, no, maybe he's doing that. My neighbors said their dogs are aggressive, and I said, I don't think they're aggressive. And I remember one of my neighbors used to hate me. Today, she's my godmother. So I used to cycle, and Guinness used to follow me on the cycle without a leash. And she was like, "You don't do that here. Why is this guy doing that? He's looking different." I was in a very French neighborhood. So, and her dogs used to jump at the window, like trying to, that's normal dog thing. Once the dogs got away from the backyard and I was on the cycle, and she was panicking. There were two of them, setters, big setters, nice Irish setter, and one was a English setter. I said, I'll go and get them. I'm on the cycle. She said, be careful. So I got the English setter was easy. Then when I went for the Irish setter, she said he might bite you. I said, I don't think he will bite me. I went, I got the dog, and she was very impressed. And this is the first contact she had with me where like what is going on. And my French was really not good at that time. And that gave her some confidence into my abilities. And the thing is, I know this because in Bombay, in the streets of the dogs which are on the streets of Bombay, they'll follow you. Some will bite you, some will not. So as a child, you recognize this without mistake. You know this is a bite coming to you. You put your cycle between the dog and you, and you avoid it. And some will just chase you for the the fun of it, and you know, okay, he'll go away after that. So this is something I recognize very early on, not because of training, just because of the environment I was living in. And then from she actually asked me to cycle her dogs. And then she was the one who brought me clients, and today I never have to advertise for my business. We are thriving, we are growing well, and I love what I do. I really love what I do.
Mm. So I mean, I guess the question is, how did you? So she had a fear about her dog biting you. You were confident that it wouldn't. So what was it that you saw in the dog that you knew that that just wasn't going to happen? And how can we relate that to human beings?
Good question. I think a lot of has to do with me. At one point of time, I would have come across as a frustrated, angry man. That's it, nothing more. I knew I was hurting. I knew I wanted love. Most of the times when I see an animal showing these traits, anger, hatred, all that, I almost laugh at it. I almost laugh at it that I wish, like me, you had learned to ask for love. You're asking for love. You just don't know how to ask. And till date, when I see this, I don't know how many dogs have tried to bite my face off on the first time. And it's almost funny to me. The owners don't like it and they read a lot. And I feel that there's some deeper connection missing with you. That's why you're doing this. Who in this world wants to have hatred, anger, frustration as their friends? Nobody wants that. We don't know what to do. We are lost. And same thing, the animals are also, especially our dogs. There's so many things we don't understand them about them. I can never understand a dog fully. I cannot. I'm not a dog.
Mm.
I can just give them the best of what I think is best for them. We have to see these limitations. I am giving you the best according to my understanding. Like between me and my wife used to come back from work and talk about things not going right at the work. In my man brain, I'm giving her all my advices of what to do. Didn't work out. It really didn't work out. It made things so bad. It was my fault. Till I understand that what she needs is just to be heard.
Yeah.
Now it's very nice because I say, oh, how are you feeling? What can I do? I cannot do anything. I can ask her what she wants, but she can communicate to me. Animals also communicate, but you have to be present to listening, and you are guessing at best.
Mm.
Even as a trainer who's working every day with off leash dogs, I know my limitations. So, this is what I see with animals. With those particular dogs, it's just arousal. It's just, as a teenager, we are brash. We like to show off. Nothing wrong with it. This is the energies we have. I used to love, like, if I fall down as a teenager, I used to, oh, Wow, that's a bruise. Wow, that's very manly to have a bruise. Today, if I fall down, I'm not so feeling so manly at all. So, this is the brash energy of a teenage dog, and he'll do that. Nothing wrong. It doesn't mean he wants to bite you. It means that he just wants to show off, and that's okay. Does you don't have to read so much, but you understand more and more a dog's language when you're around them.
Mm, yeah. And I think the more we are with people that we can't connect with, it's the same, isn't it? It's
Yes,
starting to
perhaps.
understand.
Yes, we cannot connect with everyone. The frequencies doesn't match, and it's best to realize that today. I know that a lot of people, and I choose people in my life. Nothing wrong with that, because of what I want in life. Where am I going? This is the part. Not everybody wants to go to, let's say, I want to go to traveling in Gaspé. It's a beautiful area in Quebec. Not everyone wants to see nature. Not everyone wants to. Some people are going somewhere else. This is to be respectful and mindful. I do not allow people with a certain way of thinking in my life today. I do not allow nothing wrong with them, but this is not what I'm seeking for.
Yeah, it's lovely. Sam, thank you so much. I'm just going to go for a couple of points that I've
Thank
noted
you.
down from our conversation. First of all, you talk about the environment, about surrounding yourself with people who will lift you up rather than pull you down, and that it's okay not to get on with everybody, and that acceptance is fine. It's having the choice and sometimes the courage, I think, to move away from those people and from that environment that's pulling you down. The other thing that I picked up on was when you went on your 10-day meditation and you had that loop of conversation going, that internal dialogue going around in your head, bringing you down, bringing you down. And then 3 days in, you were like, right, that's enough of that. That's enough now. I have to change. So I love that. And then you were just talking there again about, it's okay not to get on with everybody. And I completely agree with you. Sometimes I think we try to force things, and it doesn't matter if that we're not the same as well, we know we're not the same as everybody. And it's just about, okay, I accept that. But we don't have to do it with anything other than kindness and respect. And I think the way you treat probably your dogs with kindness and respect is one of the things that gives you that deeper connection. More importantly, where can people find you, Sam? Where can people find out more about you and what you do with their dogs and how you could help them?
Thank you. It's Sam, SAMAYSAM.com. And we are going to have some free gifts for our listeners, especially. And that's our website, sameysam.com. I invite people to join the community because you can ask any question. Doesn't have to be dog related. I love dog related questions, but you can ask questions. You can see there's a lot of free tools we have online. Uh, we are on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, giving free sound socialization tools for the dogs. That's very important. And that's where you can find me primarily. But most of all, I would ask listeners that give the podcast a great rating. Okay, give the 5 star because I appreciate the work you do. Asking people about their lives, etc. And I hope somebody got something out of this conversation because that's the reason of the podcast. So thank you, Nikki, for that.
Sam, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time. It's been an absolutely fascinating conversation, and I'm pretty sure, well, I'm going to walk away from this conversation having got something out of it, and I'm pretty sure the listeners will do as well. I will put your website in our notes
Thank
so
you so
people
much.
can find you as well. But Sam, thank you so much for your time and for joining us today. It's been a real privilege and an honor to hear your story. And yeah, good luck in all that you do. I look forward to following your journey.
Thank you, Nikki, and thank you to our listeners. Have a good day.
Thank you.